Over the last little while, I've talked quite a bit about projectors and LED walls and that kind of thing. Well, I want to touch on something that I haven't touched on yet, and this is a new product segment for projectors. Some people have called this stuff lifestyle projectors in the past, but Valerion has released a new line of projectors that are really taking things to the next level. So they look like the lifestyle projector of yesterday, but they perform like the full-size ceiling-mounted projector of today. These things are absolutely crazy, and they're kind of flipping the paradigm for projection and what you would expect out of a projector. So stick around with me today, and I'm going to tell you all about the Valerion Visionmaster Plus 2. I'm cutting straight to the chase with you. So what makes this projector stand out from the masses of other lifestyle projectors are two things. One, there's the price. This thing is $1,300, $1,299. And in the big scheme of things, that is minuscule for a projector that can do what this does. This is minuscule for a TV. I mean, that's not a huge amount of money. You start looking at other projectors that are in the 5, 10, 20 grand range, and you start thinking to yourself, oh, what's going on here? The other piece is that this projector brings all of the lifestyle type of conveniences to that high level of performance. We'll talk about all the performance and that kind of stuff, but I want to focus in on that price and the feature. So price, $1,300. The feature, though, that is kind of the killer one for me is that this has got Google OS built in, right? So this is the same OS that runs all of the apps that you would find in, say, a Hisense TV or a TCL, right? This is the legit OS with the legit apps. You'll find a lot of kind of cut rate projectors, you know, the ones that you see on Amazon where they show it projecting up on a wall and they're like, it does 4K and it costs $12. Well, those things, they have weird OSs that don't have like legit apps in it. This is legitimate Google. This is the real deal. So what that means is that this can function like a lifestyle projector, meaning that you don't need anything else. You can take this and point it at a wall and you've got your full OS. You can stream everything Wi-Fi. You can plug it in with Ethernet if you want. And it's got great sounding speakers. I mean, they are ridiculously good coming out of this little box. But you can also plug this in with HDMI into other sources if you want to. You can use this on a huge big screen. It brings all of that in a really small package that's very accessible to people. Okay, I know. Let me slow down a bit here. I'm getting super excited because this really is kind of a game changer for me. It really changes the way that I think about projection. No longer am I thinking about, okay, I have this dumb box that only shoots light, can't do anything, right? Well, this does it all. But let's talk about the features of the box itself. And let's start with the physical outside of the box. And we'll take a look at this unit and I'll talk through, kind of the connections and different things that you have here. Let's start with the aesthetic of the unit, right? So it's roughly a cube, it's this board style, right? With a nice white face. There's nothing that protrudes or sinks in, right? So your lens is here, all of your range finders and those items are here on the side. And it's got this nice silver ribbing across the top with a black background there. This calls out Valerion Visionmaster Plus 2, 4K Ultra HD, throw ratio of 1.2 to 1. That is a fixed throw ratio, meaning that you don't have an optical zoom. You do get that on higher end models, but for this one, that is fixed. Now, there's digital stuff that you can do, but for the actual optics themselves, they are there. Now, you focus, right, but there is no zoom. Here on the side, you'll see that the ribbing continues all the way around. You can also see that this is vented for the heat. Now here on the back, you get, again, another white face. Looks very, very nice. Kind of Apple-esque from many, many years ago, I guess. Branded with Valerion. And you have a little door that you flip down. Now, most of the time, you're going to need this to be open. Well, actually, all of the time when this operates, this will have to be open. However, when you have this stored, it does close up and it looks very nice. Going across the back here, you've got your power. You've got an optical in. You've got USB 3, USB 2, HDMI, eARC. You've got a headphone port. This would, is auxiliary audio, Ethernet, and then your power button. Now on the bottom, you have in the rear, so if you need to tilt this up in the back, feet that spin, so you can adjust this. You can also use this to level if you need to. However, the front foot is a long bar, right? So leveling doesn't really work that well. And this thing is tough to move, right? It's got some grip to it. But this is how you'll tilt this back. And I think this is, for the most part, what you'll be using. I haven't actually spun these out, and I didn't know that these actually spun out until I started to record this, and I accidentally touched it, and it spun out a little bit. So you can adjust on both sides. However, the front is a large single bar that's coated with a nice soft rubber, so it won't mar whatever surface you have this sitting on. So this remote control is fully featured. So when you use the projector as the only unit, right? So that is your self-contained ecosystem. This is also your self-contained ecosystem remote control. So you've got buttons for your different apps here. This also has voice control like you'll find on higher end units. It's got a nice silver look to it. This is really high end, and this really speaks to the entire design aesthetic of this unit. This takes the lifestyle projector and moves it to the next level of convenience and features and functionality. And this remote control is just another aspect of that design. So let's talk a little bit about the specs of the Plus 2, and I want to do some comparison to the Epson line of projectors. And Epson is a very standard kind of entry level to long throw projection in the home. The 5050, super popular, starts at $3,000, and you've got the LS11000 at $4,000. Now over here on the Valerion side, you've got the Plus 2 at only $1,299, $1,300, and this is a pretty hefty piece of equipment for that money when you start comparing it to other options. And remember, this can be mounted on the ceiling, connected to a larger home theater system via HDMI, just like the LS11000 or the 5050 UB. So that's absolutely no problem. I think you will see this used more often in the lifestyle setup, which means maybe on a table in front of your sofa pointing at a wall or at a screen, but it can be used the other way. Now, the big differentiator between a lifestyle product and then just a pure projector is all of this stuff down here, right? So it's got Google TV, does all of its own streaming. Also, only 4 milliseconds of lag at 80p 240 hertz, which is pretty outstanding. 8 milliseconds at 1080p 120 and 15 at 4K 60. So if you're a gamer, this is going to hook you up, and it's going to be a really nice experience for you. It also does AirPlay 2, Chromecast, Miracast. So you can take your phone, you can cast to this thing, use all of your devices. Whereas on the traditional projector side of the house, you've got a HDMI input. That's pretty much it, right? They're purpose-built to just be light cannons. So again, a distinction between a lifestyle product and a regular projector. This also has a nice set of speakers. Sounds good when you listen to it. So now if you look here, you can see the brightness is 2000 lumens. This has been tested by a number of sources and has been found to be correct. If you look over at the LS11000, which goes for $4,000, you're at 2500 lumens. So there is a difference there, but man, that's a lot of scratch to get a little more light output. Now, viewing contrast on this one is rated at 10,000 to 1, and then native contrast is 3,000 to 1. This native contrast has been tested, and actually it's a little bit better than 3,000 to 1 by a number of different people out in the testosphere. So that's legit, and it's quite nice, particularly in a little box like this in a lifestyle product for $12.99. Pretty rocking. So all in all, you're getting a hefty unit for $1,300 with a good native contrast, a really good brightness, 4K, and then all the bells and whistles that you need to use this as a standalone unit. Oh man, that's just outstanding. I want to talk a little bit more about the picture. So I tested this both with HDR and SDR content, including Dolby Vision. It does recognize Dolby Vision, and it drops you a little message up in the top right saying that it is playing Dolby Vision. And the colors were very good. I did tweak things just a bit to tune them in. And, you know, it's kind of hard to tell with this image that I've captured with my camera. It's not exactly true to life. It's a little oversaturated, but the colors were very good, and the brightness on the HDR was outstanding. Now, this unit does have AI features. There's a whole AI button on the remote control that you can hit, and then have this unit actually do tone mapping, and it'll do automatic color adjustment, it'll do brightness adjustment, and it really will make this easy for the layperson to use this and get a really, really good result. Another feature that's a differentiator for this unit is the enhanced black level, the EBL feature. And this is a adjustment. You can turn this on or off, and this improves the black levels of the picture. This is proprietary to the Valerion technology, so you don't find this on other units out there. This is something from Valerion itself. And the difference is pretty striking when you look at the difference between the setting turned on and the setting turned off. It really improves black levels and gives the picture a much better quality than with it turned off. You know, I think this is on par with much more expensive projectors. This really is the first lifestyle projector that makes me think, okay, lifestyle companies creating projectors in this form factor are going to be able to compete and bring a product that, you know, someone who is more of a videophile would look at and say, oh, that's pretty good. Now, is this good as a top-end JVC? Of course not, but you're also not paying the same money, and this is really targeted toward a different audience. However, all in all, I would be absolutely happy to take this into my theater, plug this joker in, and use this as a primary projector. It is as good as anything that you're going to find in the $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 range from any competitor out there. And as far as lifestyle projectors go, I don't know of another that has this level of quality along with the full Google OS and all of the functionality that you need for this to really be a standalone unit. So very, very good. And that brings me to the end of my review of the Valerion Visionmaster Plus 2 projector. This is a wonderful unit, and I think you're going to like it just as much as I do. If you're not in the market for a very expensive permanent projector, you want something in the lifestyle range, this is one that you need to check out. I've not used one that I've liked better than this, and I think you'll like it just as much as well. Now, if you've liked this video, look down in the corner. I've got another one linked there. Give it a try. I think you'll like it also. So remember, like, subscribe, ring the bell. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.